welcome to our Bears TV coverage this evening of this round 19 fixture here at Ashton Gate Stadium between Bristol Bears and Northampton Saints, brought to you in partnership with ATPI Sports Events. Well, tonight we are celebrating International Women's Day, which falls next Wednesday. So we have keeping us in company in studio tonight, not just one, but two Bears stars with me here in studio. I'm pleased to have second row Ed Holmes, welcome to you, and Bears women's winger Ren Bonner. Good to have you in here. And both of you first time here in the Bears TV studio.
Yeah.
It is indeed.
Good, yeah, well I hope you enjoy it. Bring us fortune as well. I know there is lots going on around the stadium this evening. Ren, I know you were over with me in the South Stand concourse about half an hour ago because there was a question and answer session in the concourse with two Red Roses and a future Red Rose, and of course all Bears players.
Yeah, it was nice seeing them up there, especially with the turnout that came to loads of young girls. I was in their position not too long ago, and it's just nice to see that rugby's still carrying on and there's still a passion for it in young girls.
Yeah, well, it certainly isn't. I mean, the Red Roses game was incredible here at Ashton Gate, and it's not just women's rugby; it's women's sport in general. Of course, Lionesses here at Ashton Gate Stadium just last week. It's great to see that momentum.
Yeah, I love watching the Lionesses in the World Cup and stuff, and I think it was just really good. Their effort and everything was really good.
Yeah, no, it's been a busy week here at Ashton Gate Stadium, and looking forward to rugby under the BT Sports lights here this evening. As I mentioned, Ed, you're here with us. I know we were chatting as you hobbled in. I won't get you to put your leg up on the desk, but unfortunate calf injury, and it's a difficult rehab.
Yeah, sustained soleus injury last Monday in training, the week at Bath, unfortunately, and yeah, nature of the game, going to be out for a while, so.
Yeah, it's not a great one, but I mean, tonight, looking ahead to tonight, is a BT Sport game. It's under the TV lights and a big crowd again, hopefully.
Absolutely. I mean, it's going to be a great occasion. You know, both sides like to run with the ball, expansive games, and it's going to be a great one for the fans to watch. Yeah,
it's always an exciting one, isn't it? I was reading some stats about Northampton in terms of the open play. I think they've conceded more points, than anyone else, yet they're third in the table.
I know, it says a lot about their game. That they happily attack any defence off the league, but yeah, currently third in the table, so looking forward to it.
Yeah, let's hope we ship a few points past them this evening. Well, let's have a look through the team lineups, of course. Let's have a look at Saints as well. Well, we're actually just looking out at the field, but the Saints lineup, of course, making a few changes. I mean, of course, all teams missing their internationals, but I guess for Saints, it's that big news, Matavesi returning from injury and making 7 changes to the team from last weekend.
Yeah, like you said, Sam Matavesi stepping back in, first game since the new year. Cornish Virginian, great player, great set piece. It'll be interesting to see him coming back into the team sheet this week. Like you alluded to, there's 5 Northampton Saints players away with international duties this week, but saying that, the quality of the team doesn't show that. I mean, there's some great talent in there, especially in the pack and the back line, so it's going to be a good one. Yeah,
well, you talk about that as well. I mean, you said they're third in the table. I mean, they've sort of hit a good run of form as well. They're on a three-match winning streak.
They have indeed. They had a good result against Gloucester last week. Similar to what you said, outscoring. It was a high-scoring game, but no, it should be a good game tonight. But there's been a fair few changes in that back line as well, and yeah, it's going to be an exciting game.
It certainly will. Well, let's have a look at the Bears lineup because, not we're biased, but of course we are biased as we're all sat here in blue. Let's have a look at the Bears lineup in terms of that. Obviously, we're missing Carla Nellis. One change from that winning team last week, Joe Batley, of course, who has put in some sterling performances.
He has indeed, yeah. It's great to see Bats back in the team sheet, back in the 5 shirts, but yeah, not much change from last week other than that. A great result. It was a gritty win against Bath, but we're hoping for a bit of a bigger scoreline this week, hopefully. It'll be better for the crowd as well.
I mean, yeah, well, you talk about last week. I mean, that was, as someone said, it wasn't the best game, but it's the wins that count.
It's the wins that count at the moment. Like you said, we're building quite nicely from Newcastle to Bath, and hopefully we can get 3 in a row.
Yeah, looking for our 3rd consecutive league game. Ren, you must look through this. Obviously, you know, for those that don't know, you keep a keen eye because your brother is in the academy and pushing for first team places.
Yeah, I do. It'd be lash to see him in the first team soon, hopefully, fingers crossed. But obviously, he's still got a lot to work on. and hopefully see him there soon. He's working hard, he's working really hard, so I'm just really excited to see how he progresses and performs throughout the upcoming seasons.
Yeah. Well, it's all about the player pathway coming through. I think we do very well here at Bears and at City as well. Just a word on Harry Randall, captain again. Just how's he settling into that new role?
He's fit the mould quite well, hasn't he?
He really does, doesn't he?
He doesn't look like your classic rugby player, but what he lacks is in size, he makes up for a lot more in other qualities. He's a great leader. We've had a bit of feedback from various kind of sides of the team and refs, and he came across really well last week. Like that came up in the refs report, and how he conducts himself on the pitch. Obviously, watching him is a great watch, and he's a great leader and a great role model for like you said, the younger academy and the people in Bristol. Yeah,
I mean the captaincy sometimes can be a heavy cloak to wear, and that's why it traditionally sometimes is with an older player. But as you say, he seems to have fitted into it very comfortably. And in rugby, unlike football, the captain does have a very, it's a key leadership role. Absolutely. I mean, he's taken it in his stride. Not only has he had a serious amount of minutes in the Bears shirt, but obviously he's had those international minutes, and like I said earlier, it's rounded him into a great player, a great leader, and hopefully many more captaincies ahead. Hopefully. Right, well, let's head down pitchside, shall we? Daisy Mays is pitchside, and I think she's with Sam Jeffries.
Thank you, Lisa. I am now joined by Sam Jeffries, if we can find him. Here he is. Hey, Sam, how's the warm-up going?
Yeah, all good, thanks. Yeah, all good.
Yeah. So Sam and I were very lucky to spend some time working together during your sabbatical. So Sam, I know that you are very big on gender equality. So obviously today, International Women's Day. Tell me what International Women's Day means to you, and also the inspiring women you have in your life.
I think International Women's Day is, it's an important day for us to celebrate everything that women do. I think we're seeing more and more the case for women to be, equal rights in a lot of things, equal pay. So, I think just for us to highlight something like that today is quite important. So, for me, what is especially important for, my fiancée, Susie, she works for the NHS, and she does some pretty inspirational work with the stuff that she does. So, it's a nice day to celebrate her as well.
I'm glad he mentioned Susie because she's absolutely great. So, thank you. So now 2 from 2 wins, Sam. We're going into Saints this week. How's the camp been this week and the mood between the team?
Yeah, it's obviously been good. Obviously, coming off the back of the big derby win was huge for us. So going into this week, it's a completely different challenge, though. We know that Saints are a very good attacking team. So it's a completely fresh challenge for us. But, we said this big 4 games block that we're in now, this is the 3rd game for us here back at Ashton Gate on a Friday night. It's perfect for it. So really big challenge for us, but we're excited for it.
And you mentioned there that Saints are a big attacking team. What else can we expect from them tonight?
Well, I think you just have to look at their team and you see that they've got threats across the park. They've shown this year that they're probably the best attacking team in the league in the way they play. They play from deep as well. So, there's threats all around the park. So a big part of that for us is being alert to everything they're going to bring.
Amazing. So much action for us to look forward to. Thank you, Sam.
That's right. Cheers, Daisy.
There certainly is so much action. I mean, they talked about threats across the park. We are in for an exciting game, hopefully. Mind you, whenever I say that, I feel like I jinx the game completely. But, it should be a good one this evening, a free-flowing rugby. Absolutely. Like I said, the quality of the Saints team and quality of our team is going to be a great matchup, particularly in the back 3, I feel, this week. Because they made 3 changes in that, haven't they? They did indeed, yeah. So I'm really looking forward to seeing, obviously, the pack run about. That's what I that's what I enjoy the most. But yeah, it's going to be a great game, particularly in the back 3. Yeah. So yeah. Finn Smith in at 10, George Hendy stepping in at fullback at 15, and Scosa. Yeah. So it should be good. Should be a good one, right? Well. Before we go back to tonight's fixture, let's cast our mind back. As we said, the Bears men looking for their 3rd league win this evening. The Bears women have hit a great run of form, back into the top 4. 3 wins back to back.
Yeah, it was good. Last week against Worcester was a nice win. We worked so hard for it. The girls really wanted it. The training week before was a bit stressful, but it just shows how much everyone wants it, and everyone really just cares about each other. We want the win for each other. We put the graft in, and Loughborough this week hopefully get 3 wins on the trot, so that will be good, yeah. It certainly will. Well, let's have a look at those highlights. If you can, obviously you took part in the game, so you can talk us through some of this. I mean, as you say, it was coming off a good run of form. You beat Durham 55-7 the week before. Yeah. Talk us through, because this was a comprehensive win, wasn't it? 59-10. Yeah, it was definitely a statement win. When we played them before, I think it was 2 weeks before. We wasn't particularly happy about that win, but I feel like we went out last week and really showed what we could do.
What weren't you happy about in that win? What were the bits that you took away to go, right, we need to improve on this?
Accuracy and just overall ball retention. We don't feel like we displayed ourselves, and we don't feel like we played to what we can. We hold ourselves at quite a high standard, and we just don't feel like we met that. Whereas this week, this try now, Ella Lovibond's try was just outstanding. It just shows our team cohesion as well, how well we work together.
Yeah. It's always nice watching tries and being in full whitewash, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's interesting, isn't it, going because it has been quite a difficult season for Bears women so far up until now.
Yeah, our pre-season was really good. Our first few matches as well, they were really good too. And then we kind of hit a wall in terms of Harlequins. We've got them coming up in a few weeks' time, and that is going to be one of our hardest games.
To interrupt, that was a lovely try, wasn't it?
Yeah, Claire Malloy had an absolute stormer that game.
Did she get player of the match, didn't she?
Yeah, and she got queens and everything, so we have a turnover queen, line breaks, and usually there's 5 or 6 players, but she got every single thing. It was just her.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of these points, this was, as you say, a bit of a statement win because it put you back in the top 4, and it's been, as I said, it's been a tough season because actually often through sport there's things that happen. You start out with a team sheet at the start of the season and there was a World Cup, there's been injuries, there's been sevens call-ups. It's not gone the way you've wanted, but now in the, when it starts to count, hopefully change of form.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, all smiles and celebrations there at the end of that game. Of course, as you've referenced, tomorrow, it's great that we've got you all here with us this evening here at the stadium because you're away tomorrow at Franklin's Gardens. Yeah,
we're really looking forward to that. By no means are Loughborough an easy game, but we're definitely looking forward to it. They have the most kicking meters in the Prem, so our back three are a bit nervous about that. But
you can follow all on, it's on BBC Sport, isn't it,
yeah,
on the red button, and of course across our socials. Right, there's not long to go until kick-off, so we will take a short break. Back with the Director of Rugby soon.
Hit the dance floor, fatality, my diamonds that cold. Versace trunks, I hit my backstroke. Knock on the door. She at the back live in the moment, feel like summertime. Obsessed with nation, not a world mine.
Welcome back to Bears TV in partnership with ATPI Sports Events. And as we can see, just under 15 minutes to go until kick-off. We will be hearing from Director of Rugby, Pat Lamb, in a moment. But as we mentioned, we are celebrating International Women's Day here ahead of next Wednesday. And who better to hear from now than Bears Women's Red Roses star Abby Ward, who's been a trailblazer for the sport. And following the announcement of her and Dave Ward expecting their first baby, she's now leading the way in how elite female athletes can be seen to combine both motherhood and professional sport.
We were so excited to announce it, to get it out there, to let the squad know, but also just, I guess, the wider audience. And I think it's been quite a whirlwind since then. There's been so much kind of interest and press and support around it. It's been amazing, and I think I said this to someone, like, I've played in World Cup finals, I've won Six Nations, I've captained England, but I've never had such kind of inundated with so many messages of support and excitement as we had, you know, when we announced it, me and Dave. So it's been very exciting, but it's also been quite nice because since we've announced it, I've just been able to crack on, get into some really good training, especially now I didn't have to hide it from like the other players. I can adapt and modify my sessions and just get through a really nice block of training. Yeah, I think when people hear that you're having a baby, I think they assume that you're no longer training and stuff, whereas I'm very much still a huge, you know, a big part of the squad in terms of speed that we're doing here today, skills, weights, all of that is exactly the same. Units, I'll do little bits that I can, but the bits that I can't be taking part in, I will have eyes on. I'll be helping out in terms of if it's technical input, tactical input, working with certain players, whether it be line-out callers or still involved in the strat group. And if I can help in any way or if I can input in any way, then I absolutely will. You know, I've been used to being on pitch, playing rugby. It's a little bit different now. I'm at the side of the pitch, but I'm mic'd up, I'm running water, helping facilitate anything I can and relaying those messages. So actually that link between players on pitch and the coaches up in their box, and if there's anything that I can see or input from a strategic point of view, then I'll absolutely do that. I just love being involved, to be fair, so to be there on a match day is pretty special, and I don't take those opportunities for granted in whatever capacity I'm in.
She is quite incredible, isn't she? I mean, so, you know, traditionally women have stalled having families, what if they were professional athletes. It's interesting to see that we're in this shifting dynamic now, that actually women will be able to juggle motherhood alongside a professional career. And I guess for youngsters like you coming through, it's actually being able to see that and think, oh, this is possible.
Yeah, it's definitely important. Like, she's paving the way for my future as well as all of the other academy girls, future Red Roses. So it's definitely so important for them, for Abby as well. She's just paving the way for all of us.
I'm conscious that women are doing a lot of the talking, but I mean, it isn't, you know, there's a little bit of research being done about board diversity and how much, you know, having a diverse, you know, business makeup, and at the end of the day, professional sports teams are exactly that, you know, alongside being, you know, the performance side of it. It is really important to have that mix, and being able to empower women to be able to juggle motherhood with an elite professional career. It's quite inspiring.
Absolutely, it's going to be really insightful for Abby, I'm sure. I mean, such an advocate for women's sport, so accomplished, and like she said herself, a bit of time on the sidelines is going to be great for her. Different dynamic, obviously not playing, but I'm sure she'll have great impact for the team, and she'll be doing her part for them.
And as an England Red Rose, I mean, she's such a phenomenal ambassador for, you know, on the national team, being able to tap into that insight for the younger players. I know we were talking with Delaney earlier about, you know, being able to have that mentoring position as well. Absolutely.
I mean, we talk about inspiring the community through rugby success, and Abby epitomises that. What she does on the field and now off the field, and as well as adding to being a mother as well. So it's fantastic for the younger generations and women and girls and female, all former female rugby players to see her. Yeah, do that. To see that pathway. Well, we talk about inspiring the community through rugby success. We can now hear from Director of Rugby, Pat Lamb, and him talking about the celebration of International Women's Day.
Pat, we're celebrating International Women's Day for our fixture here at Ashton Gate. What does it mean to you?
Oh, mate, you think of your mother, you think of your wife, you think of your daughters. Special people for me, special people for so many I think that's the thing. Just there's a chance to take a moment and understand what these people mean to you, and it's inspiring. So that's great. Even if you're not here, let's make sure we look after our women.
And of course, Bears women, just from success to success. So pleased that our club has such a feel and promotes women's rugby.
Yeah, it's a one-team club. Everybody's important. Everyone makes a difference. The guys we see on the field are only a small part of it, but there's so many people in our club, male and female, players, staff. It's a privilege to be part of it.
So back to tonight then, 2 wins on the bounce, and Northampton Saints stand in the way of that progressing. What are you expecting them to bring tonight?
Well, they're going very well, aren't they? They can score. They score the most tries, dangerous attack. So straight away, our defence has got to be on the money, and it's really improved. I'm really looking forward to it, because as we've made improvements, and with Craner and the work that the boys are doing, you need it to be tested. It'll be tested tonight. So we're looking forward to that challenge.
And in terms of any specific preparations, obviously, rugby now is all about plan. Is there a plan in place for tonight?
Yeah, there is. I mean, for us, we want to play well. For that, and individually, we keep talking about fight for everything, and compete for everything, and be the best version of yourself. And that's what we're seeing. I think people are saying, we're getting better, we're looking better, and that's because individuals, as they get better, we collectively as a team look better. And but we're going to be tested tonight, because as we know, they're the favourites. They're in the top 4 where we want to be. So this is vital for us. So, but all of the biggest thing, we can have all the plans, but the physicality is the one that's going to come, and hopefully we're going to bring that and bring it in bucket loads tonight.
And of course, the Friday night fans at Ashton Gate, absolutely behind you all the way.
Oh, they always are. Every night, every day. But Friday night, it's always special.
Go well today.
Cheers.
Friday nights are always special. Well, you talked about that playing well individually. I mean, I think that Bath game felt like a bit of a change, and tonight, hopefully another step up again.
Absolutely. What a better place to play than a Friday night lights at Ashton Gate. I mean, hopefully we get a decent sized crowd and get the win. Ultimately, that's all that matters at the moment. But building nicely, as Pat said. Hopefully let's make it 3 on the bounce. Let's
hope so. 3 league wins on the bounce. You can see Ashton Gate just starting to fill up. Of course, Semi Radradra was, well, awesome, for want of another word, for last week. Hoping for more from the same from him. That will delight the fans here. Stardust, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, you look throughout the team. I mean, there's quality absolutely oozing from it. I mean, you've got Semi in the midfield, you got Charles and Gabs and in the pack 3, and then the pack. You look at it. I mean, you've got a monstrous front row, and it's going to be, like Pat said, it's going to be a really, really interesting test, and it's ultimately won and lost on physicality tonight, and we'll find out very soon whether we're bringing it. Yeah, as we see the players, they've just done their final huddle, the final talks as they head off. I guess mention as well to Steve Luatua as well, back on the bench. Yes, yeah, great to see Stevie back on the bench, fresh from New Zealand after getting married this week. So that's a fantastic news for them and Liv, and obviously, looking for his impact. He brings so much experience with it, and it'd be good to see him. Yeah, it is. Final thoughts from you, Ray?
I'm always excited to come down and watch at Ashton Gate.
But you've got to get early to bed. I'm not sure you're allowed to stay the whole one, as you've got a long trip up to Franklin Gardens tomorrow.
Yeah, but it's always good. The atmosphere's amazing, and yeah.
Yeah, so prediction in tonight. I mean, we've said about this sort of stat that they've shipped the most points, but they've also scored the most, I think, as well. Yes, yeah. I mean, their percentages and their stats we've been looking at this week. We really need to stop them at source this week, and ultimately, I'm going to go back to it, but physicality is an undermining factor there. Yeah. Whether it's in defence or attack, ultimately we need to get the game line, and that's going to be a massive factor with winning it tonight. So it certainly will. Well, not long to go until kick-off. I know you guys are desperate to take your seats, so thank you for joining us here this evening, and thank you for you as well joining us at home. This is the point where we hand you over. You can of course follow all the live action on our socials, but tonight's game is being shown on BT Sport, so you need to head over to the BT channel to buy your match pass for the video coverage of the game. That is it from us. Have a good evening.